Come here. Here. Keep them close, keep them close. I'm gonna show Alexis the 250F for the first time. You think you're gonna like it?
I know I'm gonna like it. My heart's racing. It's not even mine.
Open up.
Oh my God.
A lot of bikes skimp out on the grease. Still looks pretty damn good. Damn, look how dirty that oil is already. Unreal. Can you imagine being hung like that? That's me last night after those hot wings, man. Best $50 I've ever spent. Alright you guys, it is time for the complete transformation. We're going from the stock plastics to all black, complete with a custom graphics kit from Calair. There is a new king in the CRF250F aftermarket suspension world. You're looking at the Von Cat El Jefe.
That is insane. Wow. It looks like a whole different bike. The wheels are definitely my favorite. Minus the graphics, I don't know, those are pretty 50-50. It's just so clean. I love it. It's so good. You did a really good job. This is crazy because you have never personalized a single bike to this extent. This is the most that you've ever done, and it's really well done. That's amazing.
Amazing.
Literally amazing. I'm definitely jealous. Oh, God. There's so many details. A lot of time, a lot of effort. Baking in the sun, but it was well freaking worth it. Are you happy with it?
Oh yeah, I love it.
Good.
Let's ride it.
I literally don't know what else you could possibly even do.
Powder coat the frame.
I was waiting for you to say that. Let's take it all apart. I'm just kidding.
Man, this bike has been a long time coming. I know I haven't done a lot of content with it recently. That's because we were doing a complete makeover, and here it is. This is the CRF250F Works Edition. First things first, I gotta give a big shout out to Scott over at Hyperlight Moto. Without him, this build really wouldn't have been possible. We went over the top with pretty much every aftermarket part that is available for these things, and you can find most, if not all, of these parts over on his website, so be sure to check that out if you're interested. So right off the bat, you're gonna notice a few new things that stick out with you. We went with a completely different plastic color. We went with the all black plastics, and we wrapped it in a custom graphic kit from CalAir. There aren't a lot of companies making graphic kits for these bikes, so they went ahead and hooked it up. Really clean look, just black, gray, and red. That's the only colors on this bike for the most part. Big shout out to Onyx Off-Road. Rocky Mountain hooked it up with a number of accessories. Nick over at Urbex Cross, Amsoil, everybody that shows love and supports Adventure Daily. It is much appreciated, and thank you for being a part of this. Something else that's probably sticking out, the wheels. So we reached out to W and we sent out a brand new pair of hubs to get coated and laced in these DID Dirt Star wheels, and they are wrapped in a set of Kenda Parker DTs. Kenda hooked it up. I'm going to be doing a review on these tires. So far, so good. Getting up to this location was quite a challenge, and these were eating. We also have a heavier duty skid plate now from SXS with the lower ground clearance of this bike and all of the rock bashing and log jumps that we do. These things are worth their weight in gold, so we went ahead and threw that on there. Everything else I've already done videos on. I don't want to do a complete walkthrough again. We have pretty much every protection part that you can throw on this. The case savers from Anker, the swing arm guards, the fort guards, rotor guard covering the oversized rotor. Scott hooked it up with a JT Racing rear sprocket. But another huge upgrade that we did to the bike that you might not be able to see is the rear shock. Von Cat hooked it up with their El Jefe shock, a little bit more premium than the one I was running in the past. So I'm gonna be having a full video about this new suspension setup. We went lighter with the fork springs. I went too heavy last year to where I wasn't having a good time in the rocks, so we lightened it up a little bit in the front. We ditched the Corona upper triple clamp, and now we went with the NFS Racing uppers and lowers. So we have a matching set of lowers. That's really the only reason that I did that, is because the Corona didn't offer a lower clamp. So now we're matching on the top and bottom. They also use 3 bolts in the clamp instead of 2. They just look damn good. We switched over to the black cap with bleeders from Anker. I had the extended caps, which I'm not gonna be running anymore because it was messing up the rake a little bit because the rear wasn't as high. We do still have the Corona link underneath in the lifted position, but that only gives you maybe an inch, if that. So I like the way that everything is sitting right now. Other little things we did, I went ahead and tinted the rear turn signals, and this rear fender actually has proper mounts now, so you don't have to drill through the top to fasten this. As you can see, we switched up the look in the front end, and we went with a light bar setup and a number plate. I think this looks super clean. I've always wanted to do this on a bike. Although I really did love the Baja Squadron Sport, I do have a black shield for that, so we could swap that out in the future if I wanted to, but for now, I'm gonna run this and it looks damn good. We have the wraparound signal panels here that go onto the forks with adhesive and a zip tie. They're actually brighter than the rear. We have the full Tusk Enduro lighting kit, and this thing is plated. I am gonna get some small mirrors to adhesive onto the back of these handguards here. And let's talk about these. These are from Molecule Motorsports. I haven't been running wraparounds for a while. I've enjoyed running flags, and these are the heaviest duty that you can get. The mounts for these are insane. It gives you a little bit of flex in the handlebars, and while we're talking about flex, huge shout out to the Fast Company for sending out their flex handlebars. I've always wanted to try these out. I'm really curious to see what my thoughts will be long term. I have the bushings that came stock on it. This is the red polymer. I think this is one of the hardest ones, so we'll definitely switch to the softest here and see how big of a difference it is, but so far so good. This handlebar setup came out super clean. We've got the Corona Master cover. We've got the cheap Chinese breakaway levers. I'd like to get some arc levers for this bike to just really put it over the top. But yeah, I'm super happy with the way this turned out. Still loving the Bell Parts exhaust. It's a little bit loud. I ride with earplugs sometimes, but man, it has been a long time coming to get to this point. Still not done. There's still things that I want to do. Eventually, I'd like to strip this entire thing down, powder coat the frame, maybe a big bore. Gosh, if somebody could figure out how to put a 6-speed transmission into this, it would literally be the perfect bike. And for those tuning in wondering why I've invested so much time and money into this platform, it's because it is so easy to ride off-road, and it's fun. Super low maintenance, air-cooled, bulletproof out here when you don't want things to go wrong. Super usable power. It just reminds you of the old school XR. Is it a little down on power? Yes, but I'm willing to make that compromise. I can ride all day without getting tired. It's fun to wheelie. It's light enough to where you can flick this thing around and it wears its weight really well. I've had 3 450 RLs now and always come back to something lighter and less high strung. The 450s and even some of the liquid cooled 250s are just really high strung. They don't like to be ridden slow, and we just trail ride out here. We're not doing any racing or any super gnarly jumps, so this fits the bill. If you've never ridden one, I highly recommend trying one out. If you're new to riding and you don't know what bike to get, definitely this is a good place to start. I have a lot of years behind the handlebars, and for how cheap you can get these bikes, and just with a couple upgrades, you can really transform them into an awesome single track weapon. The most important things that I would recommend you do right off the bat: suspension. These come super soft, way undersprung, so throw some heavier springs in the front, get a different shock, and you will have way more fun on the bike. If you're gonna do any serious rock bashing and log jumping, definitely throw a skid plate on this because the ground clearance is really low. You do not want to damage your case. Throw these anchor covers on here as well. Just good, cheap insurance. I threw this carbon guard on the Bell Parts exhaust, and this has the Mega Bomb style header, and I do have an electronic jet kit to squeeze just a little bit of power out of this. We're also running Lucioli in the front and rear. What that is a 7mm thick tube with not one but 2 rim locks. So it's got similar durability to a moose bib setup, but with air. So for a dual sport, this is the perfect option. You can blaze down the road with air in your tires. It's not all sketchy, and then as soon as you get off road, you can drop it down to 4 PSI. Out here in the desert, it is a bulletproof setup, and I definitely recommend if you don't mind the little extra weight. But yeah, I've spent so much time just getting it where it is now that I just want to ride the damn thing. So let's go have some fun. Let's hop behind the handlebars and see what this thing can do.